Welcome to the Vision Gap Show. Align your big idea and vision with a plan of action to resonate and stand out in your market. With your hosts, Andy Halko and Tony Zayas.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Vision Gap Show. Andy, we're going to dive into HealthTech here a little bit and look at a company, Amwell, that's in the space. They're in telemedicine. We also queued up some competitors if we want to look at that. But let's start here and talking about kind of this space and look at these segments that we've prepared and go through that a bit.
Yeah, we always talk about it, but personas and understanding your target audience, I think, is one of the linchpins of success. And I know we repeat that message a lot, but I think it's worth repeating because if your team, marketing, sales, product, don't know your target audience in every minute detail, they are never going to be as effective at their jobs as they could be. And so with HealthTech, understanding that audience is really important because there are a wide range of different roles that you're going to interact with, whether it's on the technical side, a CTO, CIO, CSO, or it's in the medical space and you're talking to doctors or administrators, and then all the ways to, again, like board and other things within health. So I think understanding all those audiences are so important. You've kind of seated us here. We always start with segments, right? What are the groupings? And here you've created U.S. healthcare enterprises, large healthcare systems in Ohio, PA, and Michigan, and then insurance providers. And so you've got these three segments here that are really defined by their industry size, the departments that you focus on, their locations. And we can even see here that, you know, it's pretty close to a narrow segment because we want to make sure that we are targeting segments that are narrow and not broad because it allows us to create messaging, marketing campaigns that are much more effective when we are really narrowed in on a specific audience.
Right.
So I think one of the things we wanted to really dive in, one of the challenges that I think a lot of folks that we talk to face is, where do I put my time and money? There are all these, you know, often you have multiple segments, whether it's three here, some folks, if you really do it at a narrow, if you really are creating narrow ones, you may have 5 to 10 or more. And so where do we start our time? And Tony, we can do this together. U.S. healthcare enterprises. I'm going to go through. We've got this little priority score ranking. So experience. We may say that we've got high experience. Over 50% of our customers are in that space. And so I'm going to set that. Competition. You know, how competitive is what we sell to this marketplace? I may say something like medium. You know, specialization. How specialized are we? Are our offerings extremely unique for this target market? Are they broad, but we have some specialization? Let's say we have high here. And we can go through this with demand, scalability, passion, which, you know, again, passion is actually factored a little bit lower, but we always say, like, how much is the team excited to go after this industry, right? And so we can set these, and in real time, it's showing kind of us setting ours or mine, as well as with you doing it on your side and really showing the scores as they come together. And so we can do that across all of ours, and we really develop these priority scores so that we can look at when we're developing different campaigns and programs, you know, what is the priority that we want to go after? Again, I think it's so important to really understand, again, that experience, competition, specialization, demand, scalability, these are things that are really, truly the factors in whether those are the right, you know, segments to really focus on. And so now that we've done that, one of the other things that we see here, just to keep moving through it, is really Frictionless has made suggestions on what personas we should target. And so chief information officer, we talked about before, healthcare IT manager, and maybe executive vice president. And we can create these selected personas, come over to our tool over here, and we've got the executive vice president, chief information officer, and the other roles for our US healthcare enterprises that is at a priority score of 24. And so very quickly, we've got, our personas set up, and then we can start doing the research to really understand things like pains, buying factors, motivations, responsibilities, influencers. What trends do they care about? What software are they really interested in? And what we're doing is using Frictionless that goes out and is able to leverage different data sources as well as AI, and come back and really say, for a chief information officer at healthcare organizations that are about 1,000 people within the United States, these are the pains that they're really facing right now. And that, again, helps all of our marketing, sales, product teams understand what our target audience, what's keeping them up at night, what they're searching for, all of these things that are so important. And then we get into things, again, I'll go through some of these because I do actually think it's important to understand these different factors, and we don't talk about it enough, but buying factors. Your sales team needs to understand how your target audience is making decisions. What things are they evaluating when they're looking at, potentially buying a solution? They may have 3 different options in front of them. And so compliance, if it's the CIO, security, cost effectiveness, right? And then if we would switch this over and we would go to the healthcare IT manager, we would look at their buying factors, they might be slightly overlapped, but they are going to be different. And the reason that sales teams need to understand this so well is really that when they're speaking to these groups, they want to touch on these points. They want to make sure, we're talking about security for the CIO, but we know better that the health IT manager is going to care about user friendliness because they're the one that's going to have to handle support calls. And so it's really important to have all of this information at your fingertips, again, whether you're in marketing, sales, or product development.
Right. And I think that point on anticipating the needs and interests of the different people that are in the room, if you're selling into hospital systems, healthcare, it's probably it's probably a group decision that's being made. It's not you're just talking to one person. So from a sales perspective, you really have to understand who's in the room and what are those needs, challenges, perspectives. And this helps with that tremendously. So I think the point of this being valuable to different, a wide array of roles in an organization is huge. Obviously marketing, right, for messaging and creating campaigns and engaging these different personas, but sales side, customer service, product, so on and so forth.
Yeah. And I mean, again, going back to more of these factors as well, motivations, like your marketing team understanding what is driving people so they can create content around that. Trends, what are they interested in? Again, content creation, ads, influencers, which is who are other people in the organization that influence this person. Knowing that is a great way for sales teams to go in and basically say, okay, these are the other roles that we might want to market to get to this person and influence the decisions that they make. I know you always like sources, which is what are sources that they tend to go to for information.
Right.
That, again, this gets hyper specific. HIMSS, healthit.gov, Modern Healthcare is a, site for trends and technology. CHIME, the College of Healthcare Information Management Executives. Again, you can see this is hyper focused on that. I think we're currently on that manager, the healthcare IT manager. And so now, again, both Our marketing team has a place to say, well, maybe we advertise here, or let's go look at what topics are being talked about. Our sales team can read up on these things so that when they're having conversations, they're really privy to what, that audience is reading at the same time. And then product really can get a sense of like what's going on in the future that they need to be thinking about to incorporate, right? So something as simple as that is so important for your team to just understand. And again, within a few minutes, we're able to really pull together a great persona to really be able to tell a lot about this specific target audience, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And something I will point out is that, sometimes we get the question, oh, this is all like the AI generated content, which it is. And I think as we work with clients and doing these workshops, I'm always blown away at how on point all this stuff is. But in addition to that, we can also add in manually, enter in feedback, things that are maybe not included in the AI responses. And then something that I found to be real effective, I know there's a newer feature in here, Andy, where we can kind of include the notes and summarize them. That's been really effective in just having conversation with these clients. So we're talking to someone, in HealthTech, and they're talking all about their clients, their audience, having a discussion with the team. I use a note taker and I just summarize it at the end, pop those in here as the notes, and then it's all, kind of factored in. So really powerful.
I think these summaries help a lot. There's both the ones on notes, like you're saying, if you're in a meeting and you're all brainstorming, and then you can summarize those notes. But also, all your factors, you can create a summary that builds this, document that really outlines. And so it's digging in a little bit. And so you can see things like buying signals and decision-making triggers. And it kind of pulled together what we looked at, all the different information, and helps create a summary of that. Sales tips, emphasize product adaptability, user friendliness. And the key to remember too is that Frictionless, you put in other information about your business, what industry you're in, what you sell. It's taking that into consideration when it's pulling all of this together. So those buying factors, those pains, they are viewed through the lens also of what you do. And then this summary as well, so that it understands what you sell as an organization. Then it is looking at all those factors of the persona to give you this like true understanding of what is this person thinking about, my product.
100%. Super helpful. And to your point, I really like the overall summary because it pulls out kind of the really high level points. You go through, there's so much in granular detail that we can get, but the summary is a nice little brief you can pull together. Really important.
There's so much here to really dig in and know your audience. We didn't even touch on surveys that you can send. And right now we're kind of showing recommendations where it pulls out and it's creating article ideas, campaign ideas, conversion ideas based on this persona. As an example here, leveraging AI for healthcare excellence. We identified in this persona that it's really important that they understand about AI and how to revolutionize patient care. This gave us the idea for that content. Campaign, Cloud Transformation Hero, empowering IT managers in healthcare. This campaign is designed to position IT managers as pivotal change agents, right? And so it really helps you build all of these things. Sales tips, what should you be doing in the sales process? And again, Frictionless understands now your target audience in detail, your segment, that they're in healthcare, certain sizes, what your organization does. And it starts becoming, basically your CMO, CRO, providing great information for you.
Right. And to me, it goes back to the old saying, people do business with people who they know, like, and trust. And this allows us to get so granular and understanding of that person we're talking to that the likelihood when they feel understood that they're going to like and trust us is just, it's such a great advantage, really powerful stuff. So yeah, I would just say if you guys have not, if you're seeing this and think this might be helpful, useful to you and your organization, frictionlesshq.com, try it out. There is a free, version available. So go in and kick the tires with that. Feel free to reach out, book a demo with us if you want to go deeper. But yeah, really good stuff. This health tech space is obviously growing rapidly, transforming, and we'd like to help you get there faster. So thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we will see you next time.
This episode of the Vision Gap Show has been brought to you by Frictionless. Build high-impact strategy at scale. Create your vision, brand position, and go-to-market strategy, all in a collaborative AI-enabled workspace. Visit frictionlesshq.com to create your free account today.